I think there's been two strong influences on the inner life or the soul care or spiritual formation for me. Number one was Earl Tigert, who was my spiritual father. He led me to Christ. He took me to the nations. And all of his teaching was about the river of life flowing, everything flowing. Everything that was manifested in our life came from what's on the inside. If the inside is dark, what's going to flow out is darkness. If the inside is light, what's going to flow out is light. He always told us, he said, ministry is not overwork, it's overflow. And he did these incredible exposés on Ezekiel 47, 1 Corinthians 4, on that life has to have a source. And he would often say, you know, if there's a lake that has no outlet and it doesn't have a good source, sooner or later it starts to stink. He says it's the same way with us. And he taught us that life has to come from a source. So soul care that he introduced me to was intimacy with God. Then Dr. Bob Fredericks, that was back in the 70s. Then Dr. Bob Fredericks in the 90s, he just drove it home saying, how is your soul? And you daily tend out to that. So both of these men were incredibly influential to just understand that I couldn't get by as an activist, like I've been my whole life. I think it saved my life so that I didn't just keep doing what I was doing from natural energy, but that there was an inside life. And to have an inside life, to have a spiritually formed life, to have a well taken care of soul, it takes time. So I've had a couple of men in my life that pushed me in this direction, and they're probably the two principal people of spiritual influence in my life, and they both basically had the same message. So it sort of stands to reason that's where I'm going to end up, and that's why this issue of soul care is so important to me.